Alright, hello everyone, I'm Ausyellow. Welcome to Formula Paw. I have adjusted my microphone setup ever so slightly. I honestly hope it is a little bit better. What is going on here is this is actually like the Formula Paw thing. It is starting. And this will be the full race, which I will post on the channel, and then I'm going to do a highlight thing. So, for the first race of the season, Jake Villeneuve will be last and will be in Imola. And driver on pole, Willow Wolf. Right, okay, Danish driver. Anyway, on the grid we have Willow Wolf, Klornigzag, followed by Roxy Tundra, Angel Frost for Renhout, Fernando Alonso also for Renhout, Tuxedo Noki, Lewis Ham, Matrogato, Michael Shoesnacker, Pertin Senna, Kitty Softpaws, Sebastian Vettel, Goldie Iris, Max Verstappen, Alan Prost, Phoebe Fittipaldi, Whisper Wolf, Sally Snowball, Bark Lauder, Nelson Pupkett, Nigel Barksall, Oliver Behrman, and Jake Villeneuve. Both at Tailwind Racing and Wolf Williams are at the very back of the grid. Now then, let's actually get this underway. I'll talk more about the stuff later on into the race once we've hit a situation where the chaos at the beginning sort of dies down. And it is lights out and away we go for the first ever race in Formula Paw. I do have all of that stuff set up. Thank goodness. I thought I didn't for a second then. I'm actually going to keep a close eye up front. Willow Wolf appears to have lost the lead ever so slightly, but will have the inside line into the first few corners, fending off Roxy Tundra. Fernando Alonso, Sully Snowball, and Nelson Pupkett are the only three drivers in the entire grid to be on the hard tyres, which will last for ages. But I think that they might last a little too long, so that might be a little bit of a problem further down. Everyone else is on soft tyres. That right there is Max Verstappen sparring up against Goldie Iris, the Barclaren. Might have the inside line and the position. It is sort of difficult to determine who's where at the first few laps of the race. 5-second time penalty to Oliver Behrman. That's not really what Tailwind Racing wants. But on the plus side, though, Jake Villeneuve will be last in this race, and that is it. One of their drivers for Tailwind Racing will not be last anywhere else this season, so in case they need an awful lot of points in a race, they do have that stress-free. This is Max Verstappen. His teammate Sebastian Vettel is dead ahead. Here's Alain Prost right behind Fernando Alonso. Prost should have an easy overtake. And tries the inside line into the next corner. Fernando Alonso is on hard tyres and has dropped from really high up in the grid. And yes, appears to have the inside line. And does he have the position? Yes, he does. Up into 12th. Willow Wolf with the fastest first sector currently. So yeah, it's sort of died down now, I guess. But I mean, this race is still incredibly live. There goes Kitty Softpaws at the inside of Bark Lauder. But Bark Lauder fights back, I think, on ERS. You'll be able to tell if they have ERS on because there's flashing lights on on parts. Actually, you won't be able to see the mouse, dang it. Roxy Tundra sets fastest second sector. The battle between the two up front is incredibly close. I'm actually glad I swapped over to their camera. 5-second time penalty for Jake Villeneuve, who was up into 14th from last after causing a collision. It doesn't look like anyone was tragically affected by it. I have to drink an awful lot doing this. And there's the DRS wing open for Roxy Tundra, who sets fastest lap after overtaking Willow Wolf. That was DRS assisted, but the gap between Wolf and Frost does seem quite high, so Willow Wolf might have a chance to take back P1. Tundra had left Willow Wolf 1.5 seconds behind, so there might be a worry about being out of the DRS range. Tundra sets the fastest first sector. That might have been as a result of the DRS. Also, all the drivers have ERS, and once again you'll be able to tell because there's red lights on the back of the wings that start flashing. Not at the very bottom of the car, in between the two rear wheels. That is for something else, I think like rain and stuff. Here's Whisper Wolf, teammate to Willow Wolf, another Klornigzag. Tried the inside line on Lewis Ham there. No, that was... Oh, no, that was Fernando Alonso, idiot. They have the same helmet colour, that's the problem, and also their cars are very similar. Their numbers are also quite similar as well. Fernando Alonso is 14, and Lewis Ham is 44, representative of their real life numbers. Roxy Tundra sets the fastest lap and is really leaving Willow Wolf in the dust. Don't know what happened there. No one really knows what happened there. Here's Michael Shoesnacker. It says Michael Shoesnack, that's because it couldn't fit all the letters on. Both the tailwind racers with 5-second time penalties, unfortunately. However, Villeneuve has seriously climbed from last place. There is actually a slight benefit to being in last place because of the way the car is set up. The setup is not 0-0-0. The setup is something else. It's what I determined for my fastest lap when I was playing through this game. Well, there's Max Verstappen fighting against Sebastian Vettel for the last point. We're trying to get into top 10. Max Verstappen sets the fastest first sector and has the overtake on 2 cars, Sebastian Vettel and Goldie Iris there. Here's Willow Wolf. Maybe within DRS zone. They might actually be trying to regenerate ERS. No, ERS doesn't seem to be deployed there. Anyway, what was I talking about? I can't remember. Max Verstappen sets the fastest lap. Points will be awarded for... Oh, actually, no, I was talking about the setup, wasn't I? Oh, Max Verstappen versus Ayrton Senna. Verstappen has the inside line and also has the inside line up into the hairpin, which is coming up next. That's like the biggest turning point there, or like overtaking zone. But Ayrton Senna managed to stay ahead there, is what it seemed. You can see a massive difference with just general speed between soft tyres and hard tyres. I think Fernando Alonso was in like P4 at the beginning, is now in P17. A huge loss, but might gain it all back later on. Anyway, back to Jake Villeneuve and the setup. When I played through this setup, I actually set fastest laps around all of the tracks. I wonder if any of them are going to be beaten. I will be a little bit surprised if they're beaten. And I set the setup that I had is what I give to the drivers. However, there is one exception to that. I noticed that if in some place like Monaco, I turn the wing setup, which is between grip and speed, I turn that to maximum grip, which slows the cars down and actually gives the in this case Jake Villeneuve, it would give that car a huge disadvantage. So instead of that, you round it to 2 numbers, which is -30 or -15, depending on which is closer. You work usually in 5s. And that means that the wing setup will be tailored towards speed as opposed to grip, thus increasing the car's speed, hence why Jake Villeneuve is now in P13. Sally Snowball, P21 actually. During the pre-testing for all of this stuff, it looks like it's going to rain. Oh, that's going to put huge problems on the hard-tyre drivers. And actually, this could turn into a really interesting race here. Yeah, when we were pre-testing all of this stuff, and actually when I was recording for the intro, because I did like 23 races, because I did Montreal twice, and we'll get on to why I did Montreal twice, or you probably could tell in the theme intro video thingy. I did all of them races, and I wasn't keeping score or anything like that, but the Racing Paws seemed like the fastest team out there, and I am very surprised that it's not that they're performing poorly, it's just that it seems like they're performing worse than they usually do, with Sally Snowball, who I actually thought would have probably won the season being in 21st. That's probably due to tyre only. And then Tuxedo Noki in P5. I mean, at this state, what are you going to do, really? there seems to be a bit of a battle, maybe developing between Noki and Shoe Snacker. Actually, I can check on that. There's Tuxedo Noki, and actually having to defend against Lewis Ham. Oh, I haven't been too well recently. That is Angel Frost managing to try to overtake Willow Wolf. We'll have the inside line, and yes, Willow Wolf pole sitter has just lost 2 positions. Roxy Tundra's teammate is Phoebe Fittipaldi, currently in P14, and oh my goodness, Willow Wolf managed to overtake Angel Frost. Angel Frost's teammate is Fernando Alonso, who's in actually P20. His Willow Wolf not deploying any energy, but has DRS, yeah, from driver in front, actually, Roxy Tundra. I should imagine Roxy Tundra is deploying, no, not deploying ERS. I can tell you how you see all of that stuff. There's Sebastian Vet, past Goldie Iris. That means double points for Pero Rojo. Unfortunately, not in the points would be Bar Claren right now. There's Jake Villeneuve up into P11. I'm actually going to cut over to maybe Jake Villeneuve. No, that's not Jake Villeneuve. This is Jake Villeneuve in a huge battle between Goldie Iris and Alan Porst. Iris tries to go for the outside line in this hairpin upcoming, and manages to actually get the move done. Jake Villeneuve's settings might have to really pull through there. That is Oliver Behrman fighting against Soft Paws and Willow. Not Willow, Whisper even. Whisper seems to have gotten away. There's Whisper fighting for P14 against Phoebe Fittipaldi. Actually, let's have a little look up front. I knew it. Willow Wolf manages to go up the inside for P1. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of difficult to see some things like that. You sort of need to look at the times. Usually I'll spot it. The AI who's picking cars to look at in battles, and wow, great shot right there. Usually picks cars that are in close battles, have crashed out or something like that. But it doesn't prioritize the cars at the top of the pack. If one of them is going to overtake, sometimes it will just completely miss it, like when Willow overtook Frost. But Willow has gone from first to third, back up to first again. Tundra is applying loads of pressure to Willow Wolf currently. Regarding like driver numbers, I don't really know the numbers that well. I mean, I can tell you Tundra is 99, Willow is 77, Whisper is 27. There's also obviously a couple of others. I saw a glimpse of it there. Barksall's 5, which makes sense. And like some of the numbers, I did ask ChatGPT, what did this? Because if it isn't obvious, Lewis Ham, who is this driver right here, Lewis Ham is based off of Lewis Hamilton in real life, and his driver number is 44. And his driver number in here is also 44. So like for overlaps, because I think it was Jacques Villeneuve, Sebastian Vettel, and no, it's not Nelson Piquet, it's Nigel Mansell, that's it, that's his real name. They all had the driver number of 5, so what I did was I rolled, span a wheel to decide which one was best. That doesn't look too good. That doesn't look too good up there. It looks like Roxy Tundra had some sort of incident and lost an awful lot of ground to Willow Wolf. Jake Villeneuve fighting for points, starting last, overtaking his teammate, and is in the points only just in the points, trying to take Pedro Rojo away from double points currently. Jake Villeneuve will have a huge battle on his hands. Fortunately for Jake Villeneuve, all of the drivers are essentially equal, right? Equal car power, equal in this case tyre level, maybe not tyre condition because he's gone from last to 11th, which is absolutely impressive. But the one thing that Jake Villeneuve has at his advantage is the differential setup. Is that the... No, I'm thinking of something in calculus now. Here's Max Verstappen at the inside of Lewis Ham. Verstappen will have the outside line on the exit of the chicane. Why did you switch over? This is a good battle we want to be watching. Lewis Ham has the inside of the next hairpin, and you make an overtake. You need to think several corners in advance where you're going to come out on top. Here's Sebastian Vettel having a try, and I think as a result of Hurt and Senna, Lewis Ham might have lost that position. He might have actually lost another one as long as he can fend off Max Verstappen. That's it. I forgot his name for a second then. And then right up the inside goes Max Verstappen. Definitely had a better line there. Some of the drivers are a little bit slow. I think that they have too much grip, which is... I mean, it allows them to do their sort of awkward racing lines a little bit here and there, but that can be extraordinarily advantageous in, for example, Mexico City. I suck at Mexico City. The AI is incredible there. But obviously they do come with their downsides. They are AI, of course. They cannot properly, perfectly simulate human beings, and obviously are not the best drivers in the world, even though half of them are trying to imitate the best drivers in the world. I just want to say instantly, any of the drivers that's being imitated here are not actually controlled by the real-life drivers. I obviously kind of want to avoid any driver politics initially, about like what one driver thinks of another. You know, if we could get the drivers voice acted, that would be quite cool. Like one of them crashes and then has a huge rant, or like tries to make an overtake on someone else and has another rant. And team radio, we can also have team principals as well. I mean, that would be pretty cool. Wishful thinking, that's what you want. Jake Villeneuve with the inside line into the chicane obviously didn't pay off. Might have the inside line into the two 90-degree corners at the very end. That must be Lewis Ham with ERS there, because that seemed like a really high rate of acceleration to happen normally. Lap number 20 is what we're on now. Sebastian Vettel has the inside line, but Max Verstappen has ERS. They are so similar. It is actually a little bit annoying that I put them in the same team. And just in case I haven't mentioned this already, each of the drivers will stay on Formula 4 indefinitely. What happened? What happened? Wait a minute. Oh my goodness, Jake Villeneuve managed to get past Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Ham. He must have done some sort of like ERS plus DRS on the main straight, because that is absolutely incredible, and I can't believe I missed it. That's unfortunate. Oh, for goodness sake, what was I talking about again? This is ridiculous. Yeah, Max Verstappen knows that he is under threat, and tries, or is at least trying to get past Hurt and Senna because of the driver behind Max Verstappen, Jake Villeneuve. Jake Villeneuve will certainly get past in due time. Now, each driver will remain on Formula 4 indefinitely, right? One of these drivers cannot crash and die and burn, or get too tired they want to leave or something like that, or just, you know, become so hated that they are forced to leave F1 under their own decision. No, if they get so hated it's unreal, I can remove them from Formula 4, if that is what's wanted, but they will stay in Formula 4 for infinite seasons, as long as, well, until they win 10 drivers' champion seasons, right? Yes. Which means that initially, before any of these drivers get removed, we will have a minimum of 10 seasons. Maximum of, what, 109 or 110 or something like that? No, actually, no, maximum is going to be quite huge. Maximum is 22 multiplied by 9 plus 1. If you're watching the highlights, I'll throw that up on the screen. I might actually cut that out of the full version. Inside line has Alain Prost. Alain Prost was actually originally Italian, until I watched a Formula One video or something like that and found out he was French. I then asked ChatGPT, and they said, yeah, he's French. Oh, and in the pits, we have Purton Senna, Willow Wolf, I think, was in the pits, Michael Schumacher as well. Nigel Barksdale comes into the pits. And who is that? Tuxedo Noki as well. Noki is also in the pits. Currently with a net race lead on medium tyres. Willow Wolf. Right behind Willow Wolf is Sally Snowball. There is tyre temperature, which is like a pretty easy concept, but the AIs really struggle with it because on some particular tracks they struggle to heat up the tyres, and it is a little bit unfortunate. Other times, especially when we're dealing with intermediate tyres, they heat it up absolutely insanely quickly. It is unreal, and they just absolutely end up destroying me. That is Fernando Alonso and the hard tyres absolutely destroying, or at least trying to destroy very slowly, McLaren. And that is a clear indication that the soft tyres have passed their sell-by date, and the hard tyres are kicking in, but the medium tyres now will be all-powerful. There's Matrogato in the pit. Usually about 20 seconds is the pit window. The Matrogato Whisper Wolf as well. I'm trying to think, pit window. Willow Wolf is currently 14 seconds behind Roxy Tundra. If Tundra were to pit now, theoretically, Tundra will be around Schumacher, Tuxedo Noki, somewhere around there. Oh my goodness, Nigel Barksdale pit? No, Nelson Pupkett is the one with the hard tyres. Right, okay. That is Willow Wolf sparring against Fernando Alonso. Willow Wolf will have better and faster tyres currently, but that probably will not last for long. You want to keep the pressure down and keep the steam going, because if you are held up at all and the current 10-second time gap between Willow Wolf and Tundra increases ever so slightly, you will lose your edge massively. Willow Wolf absolutely destroying Alonso, Goldie Iris, and now tries to go around the outside of Kitty Softpaws. I'm actually going to go on to the driver's onside. That indicates ERS. The red button on the right hand side is ERS. Now the red button on the left hand side is DRS, just in case like we're on driver's perspective and you want to know something like that. I do also know where all the buttons and stuff are. Who is that just came out the pit? Angel Frost. Look at that position. Angel Frost is so far behind, it's unreal, and was second place actually against Roxy Tundra, and is now roughly 20 seconds behind, give or take. Like rule of thumb is 20 seconds. Fernando Alonso has Sally Snowball to spar against. This is the problem with the instant hard tyre strategy, and actually maybe even the instant medium tyre strategy. It just like really sort of throws off the race, because the hard tyres will eventually start dying and are actually even now less powerful than the medium tyres. I'm not 100% sure roughly where either of them are going to come out, or like how the tyres match or work. Willow Wolf chasing after Alain Prost. We're actually going to go full screen on this one. Who is that just went in the pit? That looked like Sebastian Vettel, and you should really slipstream here. Alain Prost probably had ERS initially. Willow Wolf up the inside line, up into P6 currently. I'm surprised Willow Wolf does not have fastest lap, probably because of the medium tyres, to be honest. Fastest lap set by Max Verstappen in the early days on soft tyres. I will obviously be noting down fastest lap as well. Fastest lap gets a point. Pole position or pole sitter gets a point. Oh, 5-second time penalty given to Nigel Barksdale. Certainly not what. Wait, for what? For causing a collision? He's in last place. What? Oh, I didn't see Sebastian Vettel there. I was. How in the name of all that's holy did he do that? Well, there was another driver there. That makes sense. Michael Schumacher against that is Sally Snowball, and has the inside line on Goldie Iris. Barclaren probably not going to end up in the points on this debut race, but what is more important, I think, is who's going to win the debut race. Well, what was that up front? That was probably seeing things or something. Willow Wolf ahead of Lewis Ham. Positions after positions. There is no way Tundra will be able to fight back cleanly. Obviously, we'll have to pit and all of that stuff. And even then, that does get very messy. So, as of right now, it is not in Tundra's way. 2-second gap to Tundra is Willow Wolf. That is absolutely incredible. Barksall is in the pits, what, for the second time? That must have been some sort of collision issue. There was also damage stuff as well. If you lose one of the front wings, it's not really much of a problem. If you lose the rear wing or both the front wings, big problem. If the main chassis is super damaged, you lose ERS, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it is quite a fun strategy, because even when you pit, and like pitting doesn't increase any time if you have damage. When you pit, oh my goodness, Jake Villeneuve, P3 on the podium, and Willow Wolf manages to regain P1 because Roxy Tundra is in the pits. An absolutely incredible performance from Willow Wolf and Jake Villeneuve, who started last and doesn't have the net race lead, but is in second place currently. He needs to pit on the right time to keep the strategy going, because this is an absolutely astounding job. Soft Paws is in the pits. Oliver Behrman is also in the pits as well, I think. Jake Villeneuve, Max Verstappen, Lewis Ham, Phoebe Fittipaldi in the pits currently. I'm not going to save this to an external hard drive. Oh, Goldie Iris is in the pits as well. Just because I think because there's so many races, it's gonna just take up too much data and storage, so I'm not gonna do it that way. Bark Louder is on soft tyres. I think Bark Louder started with... Bark Louder cannot be... No, hang on. His head's in the way. Tyre degradation 38%. Yeah, he's on the soft tyres he started with. Not the best idea. If you want to know where I read that from, it's something on the steering wheel that I might explain in due time. So I'm starting it today a little bit later than I wanted to, because I had to do microphone tests. It's probably not the best quality in the world, but it was the best I can do for now. I do plan to change the microphone stuff in the future, but also it's because when I was recording the explanation video for Bandicam on Bandicam, my standing mic kept disconnecting and it was really annoying me. I had like 70 different files. That was Sebastian Vettel overtaking Nelson Puckett to try and get into the points. Speaking of in the points, Whisper Wolf has the inside line and gets the position off of Sally Snowball, has Roxy Tundra ahead. Double points currently for Klornigzog and Ferrari, P1 and 2. Absolutely incredible. Oh, there's Bark Louder with the totally not AI looking pit crew. There's Frost, Noki, Senna. Yeah. Oh, actually, both the Racing Paws are in the points, but that might not last too long because Snowball, see, Snowball just got overtaken by Sebastian Vettel. Obviously, it didn't cut to that for some reason. It just wanted to show whatever else it wanted on. So Bold David God is not here. No idea why. That's all I can say. Bark Louder is finally pitted. That was the driver who I was talking about the pit crew of. Each pit stop is roughly the same amount of time. The only time you're going to get slowed down is if there's traffic in the pit lane. Then again, what are you going to do? Bold David God is not here, not too sure why. Oh, Whisper Wolf up into P8, has clear inside line and easy move right there, ahead of Fernando Alonso. I'm not too sure why Bold David God is not here. he and I were building something for the parkour map. We built a structure, and then I started putting parkour in it. What else did I start doing? I started putting parkour in it. I then started building another structure, and I'm sort of stuck because I'm not too sure how to continue developing the structure. He has not been on since I started building the parkour in that stuff. I just had to throw that out. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't heard from him for a while. But actually, I say that he did give me a voice note the other day saying, yes, I can play much later. And then much later, he said, oh, wait a minute, no, I can't play. I can probably play tomorrow, but I've got a lot of stuff going on. I've got like the gym and all that stuff. Yeah, so he's not here. I would have loved him here actually as well, because I showed him this racing stuff initially. He really liked it. Is that on? Oh, that's on as well. It shows there. I have to manually turn my trackpad off each time. Currently one hell of a good racing performance from Jake Villeneuve. Currently in P13, has the 3 hard tyre drivers to get past, which should be pretty quick, but the gap between the next medium tyres will be quite far away. Jake Villeneuve is really far out. I think he left it a little bit too long for pitting. Pitted sort of at a similar time to Max Verstappen, who's currently in P15 behind Soft Paws. So their strategies clearly did not work out as intended. That is Roxy Tundra, technically on the newest medium tyre, fighting for a spot on the podium ahead of Macho Gatto. If they fall back, actually, hang on, how many points? They have 33 currently. Klornexargs will have 27 in total. This is just me doing quick math right now. What I'm going to do is, once the race is done, I'm going to collect all the points, see where all the drivers are at, and from there give you the data, to which will be done instantaneously on the highlights. Reason why I like posting the whole race is just so you can see like the actual progression, because not everything will be commentated because there is so much to commentate on, and obviously I'm not the best commentator, hence why we had pre-testing with Brandon. It was literally just me shouting at a race. Yes, so we've gone for about 20 laps on these newer medium tyres, well, less than 20. I do not know, can they last 40 laps? I mean, they need to last 40 laps to finish the race. But actually, let's have a little look at tyre degradation from race leader Willow Wolf, 58%. That's probably not going to last the whole race. And if you're thinking that the tyre degradation rate is linear, I do not think it is linear. So now the Ferraris have 30 points. If they were to lose another position, they would be on 28, which would still put them ahead of the Klornexargs for now, unless one of the Klornexargs manages to steal fastest lap. But I mean, for Willow, Whisper even, actually either of them, that seems like a massive throwaway of points. One thing that you do not want a driver doing is not perceiving the ending of the race properly. Up the inside of the chicane, or exit of the chicane, goes Angel Frost up into P4. You do not want the drivers perceiving the race wrong, because, I mean, right now, yes, pitting for soft tyres doesn't seem like a bad idea. It's going to land you out of the points completely, but you should be able to completely blitz the medium tyre group. But if you're going to do that, do it about now. You do not want to do it much later. Actually, yeah, you might want to time it, because now seems a little bit too early, but much later seems a little bit too late. And Michael Shoesnacker might be losing his grasp on P2 currently. That's not really what you want. And there's slipstream boosting as well. Oh, that's not looking good for Willow Wolf. Like when I said earlier, I was surprised to see Willow Wolf in P1. I want the Klornexargs to win, but they probably will not. You know, that's my personal opinion. Does look like Willow Wolf is losing a little bit of pace there. And Tundra, for some reason we're looking at a battle at the very back of the pack. Tundra manages to take P2 and manages to hold on to it as well. The original top 3 are currently in the top 4. If that makes any sense to anyone listening. Wow, absolutely incredible. But will Tundra be able to have the pace to hunt down and eventually overtake Willow Wolf? Absolutely no idea, because they're all roughly on the same pace, tyre as well, sort of similar. I mean, Tundra has a slight advantage for being, or like pitting later, but will the advantage actually pay off? Shoe Snacker manages to try and take the position back outside of the chicane, inside of the hairpin that's coming up next, and holds onto the position. This might be constructive interference. It's difficult to say. Here's Kitty Softballs fighting for points against Max Verstappen. What in the world happened? Jake Villeneuve is in P6. Whisper Wolf is holding on to the points, and is sort of ahead of that pack, but has a huge gap to Sebastian Vettel. Yes, so I mentioned earlier, slipstream boosting. What is that? That is when two or more drivers use slipstream and DRS, obviously on all of the straights that allow that, and constructively interfere with each other. What that means is that they are actually going together faster than the driver that they're trying to catch up to. That is slipstream boosting or constructive interference. Conversely, destructive interference is when two drivers are actively sparring against each other for a better position, not for group gain. And when they're sparring just for their own gain, it's usually constructive or deconstructive interference, which doesn't pan out that well. Hard tyre drivers, all three of them are in last place. They have not pitted. They really should have pitted, is what I'm trying to say. They probably should have pitted much earlier. They can finish a race on hard tyre. I think that there was one time a driver managed to finish the race on hard tyres from the start and actually beat me, I think. That sounds absolutely incredible. I've got no idea how. Angel Frost, P2. Roxy Tundra, P4. They literally just swapped positions, unless I'm going crazy, and had their positions earlier wrong. Both of the Ferraris, 15, 12, 10, 25 points. Not going to match up to Willow's points, so Klornigzag currently have the constructors race lead. I'm going to have to do more complicated maths further on into the season when we involve more points or past points that they already have. Jake Villeneuve ahead of Macho Gato into P5. The driver who started last is looking at about P7 currently, although he's in P5 right now. P7 because of the 5-second time penalty. You cannot undo that, unfortunately. There is no way to appeal that. Max Verstappen against Whisper Wolf for the final point. This will take it won't. Oh, actually, hang on. It will put Pedro Rojo into double point status and take Klornigzag out of double point status. But that doesn't really matter right now. Klornigzag still have the all-powerful constructors lead. That makes any sense. That does not make any sense whatsoever. Up the inside, Tundra into P3. Will Tundra be able to hold on to the lead? I do not think so, especially with the upcoming corners. Michael Shoesnacker is really fighting against these drivers. I think that the Ferraris pitted for medium tyres earlier. Probably not their downfall, but by the looks of things, pitting later seems like the way to go, which is surprising because I thought it was not. By the way, all of the pre-testing races, they did not actually count whatsoever to this. It's just so we can see like how well it goes. Shoestacker manages to fight back and hold on to P3, the last position in the podium. That was a 10-second gap between Willow and second place, or roughly 10-second gap. It has now come down to, it says 3. I don't think it's timing time. I think it's actually counting distance, which, because like, you know, at the chicane, at the hairpins, when the drivers are by distance closer together, assuming that they're travelling at the same pace, they should not, or the time between them should remain roughly constant if they're travelling at the same pace. But as you can see, the time goes all over the place. So, you know, that's one thing that I really hope that they fix. Macho Gatto falling so far back is unfathomable, actually. Currently, Jake Villeneuve might actually end up in 6th because of that 5-second time penalty at the very start, which we didn't see. Yes, all races will be 100% race, maybe apart from Montreal, okay? And there's a huge build up to Montreal. When does the first Montreal race actually happen? Just want to check that out real quick. Okay. About that stupid notification. Every single time I get notifications, I keep thinking that Brandon's messaging or something like that, saying, yeah, I can play now. Yay! I'm trying to remember a song that... about, like, someone who hasn't seen someone else for ages, I don't care. Anyway, by the looks of things, Shoesnacker is constructively deconstructively interfering against Tundra and Villeneuve, thus pushing the two back and increasing the gap between them and Frost. But Tundra tried the inside line on that chicane. Shoesnacker still has the inside line into the hairpin. No idea who got DRS in the DRS activation zone, which is a thing in this game. I know, pretty advanced for what it is. Who has it? I can't see. Tundra looks like it. Yeah, Tundra has it, and Tundra is going to soar ahead and will probably even catch up to Frost. What Willow wants right now to maintain the position. Oh my goodness, Jake Villeneuve is in the battle as well. What Willow wants, as I was saying, is rain. You want rain, such that everyone has to go on intermediates, and the positions are pretty much set unless someone crashes or unless two drivers are abnormally close together and end up having a giant sparring session and crash. Anyway, what race is next actually? Up next is Melbourne, Australia, or St Albert Park, or whatever you want to call it. So many names for tracks nowadays. Frost is able to keep the position steady. Wait, was that rain? That is rain. I think it is actually, yes, that's got to be rain. It looks like it is actually raining out on track. Yes, and the last 4 drivers are on intermediate tyres. I should not have said anything. The positions now appear to be completely stuck. I don't know if the top 3 will change positions, just because when everyone rushes into the pits, there's going to be an awful lot of traffic, which might slow a couple of drivers down. The position of like where all the drivers are in garage, sort of random, I guess. You can call it pseudo-random. I don't really care. It's not there. See, traffic, and Jake Villeneuve is up into P2. Jake Villeneuve might actually be the first driver to win in Formula Por and the first driver to go from last all the way to first. I mean, seems plausible, but when we pre-tested this race, I think that the driver in last place couldn't even get close into the points or something like that. That could have been just because they crashed and had a lot of bad luck. This is certainly not the case for Jake Villeneuve. Angel Frost manages to fight back, but that doesn't seem to last for long. What you really want out here is grip and not really speed, but I don't think grip for the AI is much of a problem. This is why in the wings setup I sort of neglected grip as a contributing factor. Why did I click that button? We want to see this race between Angel Frost and Jake Villeneuve. Anyway, back to the Montreal stuff. Angel Frost will have the inside line into the final 2 corners. There's no such thing as DRS in this phase. Tyre temperature, you see that flashing light next to the giant number 6. That indicates that the tyres are not up to temperature, but they are driving much faster than I ever could when the tyres are below temperature. So, there we are. Race number 14 is the first Montreal race, and race number 18 is the second Montreal race. I just wanted to say that because I think that the Montreal races are the best race. And I mean, yeah, you could say, oh, some of the other tracks are quite cool as well, just because of all their features, all of the corners as well. But Montreal has one corner that is just perfect. that is all there is really to say about it. Angel Frost having a huge battle. The interference is difficult to say the least. I've got no idea if they're helping each other or defecting against each other. By the looks of things, they are sort of defecting against each other, but I mean they could be helping each other. You never know. It is the rain, and we haven't had a rainy part of the race, or actually ever, in Formula 4. On the inside, tries Jake Villeneuve. Jake Villeneuve might be able to hold on to the position. I'm just thinking of the next corner. Frost has the advantage, but won't last forever. I mean, despite Frost being in P3, Frost will take P2 because of the 5-second time penalty. I mean, Willow could even end up in P2 with Villeneuve in P1. As long as Willow is within 5 seconds, Willow will have won the race. I don't need this on anymore, so I can turn it off because it is very bright. Okay, and we're still watching this race, or this part of the race. It looks like, honestly, the positions are stuck. Macho Gatto, horrible turnout for Macho Gatto. That's just because of all the traffic. Macho Gatto has to pit, or like quite close to the entrance of the pit lane, and gets held up an awful lot. Koenigsegg's are still both in the points. Phoebe Fittipaldi is in the points as well, meaning that Roxy Tundra and Phoebe Fittipaldi combined give Wifton Martin double points as well. Unfortunately, Pedro Rojo, as a result of the rain, are out of double points, but will still receive 1 point because of Max Verstappen, unless somehow the drivers pull out something absolutely spectacular and do incredible laps around here on the final lap to get fastest lap from Max Verstappen. And I mean, rarely does it end in crashes, but I will tell you this: there was one time I was racing. I was actually racing in where was it? It was Monaco, and I mean I was in the lead. I had fastest lap. Yeah, it is fastest lap. Fastest lap in Monaco for me was below 1 minute. You can get it below 1 minute in Monaco, because obviously these are not the best representations of the maps. Who cares? I mean, obviously people who like a lot of detail care. I am not one of them people. Jake Villeneuve closing in to Willow Wolf. The two may actually end up constructively or deconstructively interfering, which might bring Frost into this. If Frost is ahead of Willow, Frost will be in P1. But the question is, will Villeneuve be able to go up to Willow? Will Villeneuve take Frost with him? Or will Villeneuve slow down Willow such that Frost shows up? Who knows? Anyway, yeah, so I was in Monaco, and what happened? I had fastest lap, which was below 1 minute, or it might have been 1 minute plus a couple milliseconds, which is unfortunate. I thought I was going to get maximum points, 26 points. Some Ferrari dude comes along and manages to go below 1 minute, and I just think, how is that possible, given that their racing pace was completely dreadful? It just means that they can turn this around on a dime, but I do remember that it was a dry track, so I will be very surprised if they can turn around fastest lap on a wet track after it was set on the dry track. What? Why is Willow heading into the pits? Is it drying up? It is drying up, okay. Which does mean fastest lap could go to anyone. Koenigsegg's biggest concern, I think, will be Whisper, which I'll probably turn onto right now. And actually, another concern for Koenigsegg will be where Villeneuve comes out. They are incredibly close, but Willow still needs to be within 5 seconds of Villeneuve. And by the looks of things, the top 4, top 5 sort of stay as they are. About Whisper. Whisper gained a couple positions there. Sort of what I wanted to see what was going on for Klonigzog's right there. Klonigzog in a really good position. As of now, Villeneuve has secured 3rd place, but is looking to secure 2nd, and sort of looks like Villeneuve did there for a second. Rain is a weird one when you're driving, because you sort of don't really notice it instantly, and then when it ends, it's almost impossible to notice, because it was clearly raining. There was spray everywhere, but Willow went into the pits, and suddenly it was not raining on the other end. That's because the AI just knows. That is not Lewis Ham, that is Jake Villeneuve. Another thing AI is not the best at. Willow Wolf has the fastest first sector. Jake Villeneuve is not able to respond. Usually it's a driver at the back of the pack that ends up winning fastest lap, because fastest lap fell at the front end of the pack and continues to fall. I don't know why it continues to fall though. It just doesn't make much sense. Well, obviously drivers are travelling faster. Willow Wolf fastest in 2nd sector. Villeneuve also not able to fight against that. It all must be done in the 3rd sector though, because I mean the 3rd sector doesn't have that many corners. Willow Wolf has fastest 1st and 2nd sectors, meaning that Willow Wolf will probably take fastest lap after crossing the line. And actually, I'm going to cut over to Willow Wolf. The winner of the 1st ever Formula Paw, Willow Wolf, crosses the finish line, setting fastest lap. Jake Villeneuve steals it. It must have all been in the final sector, because there is no other way it could have been done. Jake Villeneuve, Macho Gatto manages to steal. Oh no, wait a minute, no, that's fastest 2nd sector, idiot. Oh my goodness, what a race! And actually, that looks within 5 seconds. Jake Villeneuve maintains 2nd place, starting last. An incredible performance. Willow Wolf wins in Emilia-Romagna. Oh my goodness. Oh! Crash! What the hell? Oh my goodness. We had a yellow flag in the 3rd sector, and then that was it. No idea what happened there. And what a way to end the race, I think. Yeah, this is nothing. That's total time, best lap, fast lap, who cares about all of that stuff. That's just because I was Jake Villeneuve before I handed him over to AI. Willow Wolf is the winner of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix and the 1st winner of Formula Paw. Jake Villeneuve is in 2nd place, starting last. An incredible performance, and that is Angel Frost over there, who stuck around in 3rd position but managed to get ahead of Tundra and stay there. Let's skip this music. Right, okay, now I'm just going to acquire the data, which might take a bit. Fastest lap point goes to, it's not saying, meaning I'm going to have to watch the footage back. Shoot. Is it Shoot? It must have been Gatto, I think. But I will need to check that. If you have any more questions about the positions of all of the drivers or like any other stats that you want to know, please do let me know in the comments. Next race, which will come out hopefully pretty quickly, Melbourne, Australia, St Albert Park. There's many other names for it. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well, so you will not miss out on that. Thanks for watching.